Hey, it's Christina with Tinagirl Travels. I'm here in Ketchikan, Alaska. It's our last port of call, and this is the last day of my shopping video series. So I'm going to try and find something different in Ketchikan that I didn't see in any other ports, and I will record it for you and show you what I find. Let's have a look on Google Maps where Ketchikan is located. This port of call is our fifth and final stop on our 10-day cruise to Alaska. We've been to Juneau, Skagway, Sitka, Icy Strait Point, and way down here on the southernmost entrance to Alaska's famed Inside Passage is Ketchikan. This is such a pretty city, and the harbor is just bustling. I could have stood on the deck of our ship and watched everything going on in the harbor for hours. It was so interesting. So up to 5 cruise ships can dock in Ketchikan each day, and there were some really big ones in port on the day we were here. This port is what I imagined Alaskan ports would look like. Colorful houses, they're perched on the hillside overlooking that harbor and everything that's going on. Ketchikan is actually the salmon capital of the world, and when you wander over to Creek Street, you're likely to see some there, and I'll show you that in a bit. The other thing that's very interesting in the city is the totem poles. In fact, Ketchikan has over 80 Native American totem poles for you to check out. All right, let's head into town and do some shopping. Our ship was docked at berth 4, so we had a bit of a walk to downtown. This is a very walkable city, and even though we were farther from downtown, there were lots of shops and tour kiosks down on our end as well. It's flat and easy to get around from Newtown to downtown, and of course the famous Creek Street, and be sure to check out the historic district as well. I'll add a link below to that map that I just had up, as well as links to some of the stores I mentioned in this video, and I'll also add links to our favorite anti-theft or anti-pickpocket travel day packs and crossbody bags that we always travel with. Right next to our ship is the Tongass Trading Company. There's another location right downtown as well. If you watched my other videos in this Shopping in Alaska series, you'll know the story of not bringing a coat with me on this trip. And I didn't mean to leave it at home. It was so hot when we left and I just didn't think about it. Don't worry if you find yourself in the same situation. There are loads of coats and rain jackets and sweatshirts to buy as soon as you step off the ship. In fact, there are loads of them on the ships as well. This store had every single Alaskan-themed souvenir that you can think of. Ketchikan is our last port of call, and I will probably be buying souvenirs from here for my family and friends that I haven't bought things for yet. These shirts actually caught my eye from across the store. They were quite striking. They're printed with a black velvety texture on a cotton t-shirt. They were about $30. I also loved these shirts. The designs were really fun. This store was one of my favorites. It's called Julie's Art, Jewelry, and Sculpture. There was some really beautiful things in here, and check out this sculpture called Salmon School by Eddie Lee. It's made from rosewood, buffalo, and caribou horn. That is so interesting. I just love the sculptures that are made with a mixture of locally sourced elements like these ones, and check out this one. It's another one by Eddie Lee as well. It's carved out of a woolly mammoth molar, and it's sitting on a fluorite base. This is a family-owned business with genuine items crafted by Alaskans, so make sure to stop in and check out one or both of the stores. You won't be disappointed in the selection she offers. Ketchikan is really easy to navigate around. As we continue into town, you can see there are all kinds of shops and cafes across the street. I didn't have time to check those out on this trip, but I will next time for sure. They look like really good stores and maybe a little quieter than all the shops downtown. I think they would definitely be worth popping into. This is the famous Tunnel of Ketchikan. It's 274 feet long and was built in 1954. It's said to be the only tunnel in the world that can be driven through, around, and over. As we turn around from the tunnel, you can see we're in downtown. Just a few doors down is Alaska Coffee, and I might just head over there for a cup. All right, here's that famous Ketchikan sign that everybody has a picture of, and right near that is the other Tongass Trading Company. It's been around since 1898, and while it started out as a supply store for mining and logging camps and general merchandise for locals, now they're selling glow-in-the-dark t-shirts and anything else your heart desires with an Alaska logo on it. So I'm going to buy some of these for my grandkids. They actually have a great selection of things, and prices are really good too. If you're bringing back souvenirs, be sure to check this place out. All right, we hit Tongass Trading twice, and guess what? Here's Julie's again. But be sure to check out both of her stores. They carry different things in each store, and honestly, it's really impressive and a bit like visiting a museum, except that you can literally own anything in the store. If you watched my other videos in this series, you'll know a bit about my woolly mammoth obsession that I've developed while shopping in Alaska. And by the way, my students were blown away with my woolly mammoth tooth that I brought in for show and tell. And you can see what I bought in my Icy Straight Point video. Here's some more of those sculptures that I love. They are so interesting because they are made from stone and bone and wood and rawhide. And I saw several sculptures similar to this throughout Alaska that use multiple different materials to create their pieces. They're just so fascinating to look at. So Ketchikan does have its fair share of jewelry shops. I don't feel like it had quite as many as Juneau or Skagway, but some of the local family-owned stores are interesting to pop into. Some of them carry more than jewelry. They have like carved items and local items, and of course every town needs a fur gallery. But we're gonna pop into Weavers. I feel like we saw a store similar to this in Skagway called The Loom. They carry interesting shoes, boots, table runners, tablecloths, rugs, and bags. They also have lots of things made out of animal hides. I actually love the selection of handmade kiln bags in this store. They're one of a kind and made with leather, and the fabric is wool. They remind me of the old carpet bags famous during the post-Civil War era in the American South. This is not an authentic Alaskan-made store. This would be an importer, but it's still interesting. It's an interesting shop to pop into. In hindsight, this is one of those items I wish I had bought. I love a good quality bag with a bit of a story. Pop onto my channel and check out my video called The Bag That Almost Got Away. It's about a bag that I saw in Istanbul that I couldn't stop thinking about, and I actually went back 5 years later and bought it. It's one of my first videos, so please don't make fun of me. Terrible sound, everything, I know. But if you want to watch it, it's a fun story. It's kind of funny, the regular everyday things you miss when you're on a ship for a week or two. Let me tell you, lots of people missed their bubble tea. People were lined up all day outside of this place. Let's head into Dockside Trading. You'll find that right near the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. This store kind of reminds me of the Tongass Trading Company. They have all kinds of Alaskan themed souvenirs. So if you're someone that collects the souvenir flattened pennies like my son used to collect, you'll find them here at Dockside Trading at 76 Front Street. They also have these coupon books full of all kinds of discounts. So right next door, you'll find more of the same type of stuff in the Ketchikan Mining Company. And also in this area, if you collect t-shirts and do-rags from Harley Davidson, you'll find the Inside Passage Harley store in this building as well. So just a quick look on the map of where we are. We're pretty much across from berth 1 and 2 right along the water. So inside the Ketchikan Mining Company, you'll find some interesting things. Of course, the usual t-shirts, and they sell the super comfy Lazy One brand of sleepwear for the whole family. But the one thing I found here that I thought was really unique was these beautiful preserved leaves. These were really beautiful too. They're hand-blown glass with 24 karat gold flecks floating inside. They're so unique, and they're a good gold rush souvenir. All right, let's head into the Christmas in Alaska store. I think we saw something similar to this in Sitka. Check out the stained glass snowshoe. That is so unique. Next, we're going to pop into the outlet store. This one seems to have a lot of candy. So they have saltwater taffy by the pound. They also have jelly beans and fudge, all kinds of fudge. One thing I really liked in this store was the 3D placemats. I ended up buying one of these with the grizzly bear for my grandson, and he totally loved it. This store kind of leads into a bit of a mall area called Salmon Landing Market. There are a few different stores here, and if you're looking for a washroom, you'll find them upstairs. You can take the elevator or the stairs. There must be a lot of quilters out there, and I've noticed fabric and quilt shops in most of the ports we visited. And this is where you'll find the one in Ketchikan. It's called Whale's Tail Quilt Shop, and they have some beautiful fabrics and some cute patterns as well. If you are a quilter and you are going to Skagway on your trip, be sure to check out my shopping video for that port. They have a spectacular quilt shop there as well. All right, if you're getting hungry, it might be time to sit down at Ketchikan Crab and Go or the Alaska Fish House. I have heard that they have really good fish and chips. The Rain Barrel carried some really unique gifts, and I highly recommend this store for native Alaskan art. You'll find really cool wooden pieces like these paddles that you can hang on the wall. They also had some really interesting carvings out of stone, bone, and antlers. At the beginning of this video, I told you that Ketchikan is famous for its 80 native totem poles throughout the city. Well, you can take a totem pole home as a souvenir with you. Not one of the 80, but you can actually buy one from here. The Rain Barrel has so many very beautiful ones to choose from. Also, check out these wooden crabs. They're really interesting. Okay, now this next store was probably my favorite store in all of Ketchikan. Definitely in the top 3 for sure. It's called Shinook and Company. It's kind of set up like an old mercantile store from the 1800s. It reminded me of Little House on the Prairie. This store had the most beautiful cookbooks. I talked a lot about the cookbooks of Alaska in my last shopping video in Icy Strait Point. I'll add links to all these books below in the description if you're interested in buying one now before your trip. I bought my Teeny Alaskan Oven by LaDonna Rose Gunderson. Such an interesting story to go along with her amazing recipes. I absolutely loved everything in this store. The things, like even the t-shirts that they sold, were really good quality. They were very interesting. Check out this cell phone amplifier that somebody's made. So you just slide your cell phone in there and it amplifies the sound. So interesting. I love the dishes. Now I'm drawn to blue and white naturally anyways for myself. But I also love all these fish and the seashells and the sea theme. Such beautiful pieces. Okay, remember in the last video we talked about stickers and how a big deal stickers are now, and they've really come back. And so this store sold really cool stickers and really beautiful cards. And here are the Salmon Sisters. They were the ones that made a really interesting cookbook, one of the ones you can check out. These sweatshirts are very nice as well. I didn't see these kind of sweatshirts in any other store, so if you're interested in this, you have to come to this store. There's some beautiful handmade art as well, and this is the artist. And I love, love, love the stained glass jewelry. So beautiful. Okay, you have to take a close look at this jewelry. So this is by the Salty Sisters, and they use salmon skin in their pieces of jewelry. All right, next we're going to head over to Creek Street. So this is iconic Ketchikan. So back in the gold rush days, it was actually the red light district, but now it's like the main stage for the town's history and culture. So it's got a wooden boardwalk hanging over the creek. It's surrounded by these colorful buildings that you know have a story to tell. So it's not just a cool place to check out shops and art, it's also like a living storybook of Ketchikan's past. You'll find shops, galleries, and museums along here, and be sure to spend some time looking at the water. When we were there, there was a seal chasing fish, and it was quite a sight. Let's pop into Alaska Northern Lights here on Creek Street and have a look at what's inside. Some really beautiful wooden cutting boards, and I love these watercolor prints. They're really beautifully done. That really captures Ketchikan right there with all those seaplanes. And have a look at these driftwood and glass sailboats. Absolutely beautiful. All right, we're going to check into Ketchikan Dry Goods and have a look at what they've got there. You can get yourself a Mountain Men of Alaska calendar. In fact, Alaska, I've heard, is a good place to meet a man if you're looking. There are 111 men to every 100 women. This store had some beautiful pottery. I love a really good clay mug that you can have your coffee or tea in. It's just, there's nothing nicer. Definitely try it out first and see if it fits your hand. This was a really, really beautiful store. We're gonna go into the Captain's Lady Boutique and Gifts now. They had some really gorgeous stuff in here as well. I love these Ketchikan map socks. That is so funny. And check this out. Fisherman Hand Scrub cleans and deodorizes your hands. Okay, jittery scribblings of an overly caffeinated introvert. That's an awesome journal. And of course, there's this one. Okay, this is another store I really loved, Niblicks. They carried one of my favorite things. Everyone needs a beautiful wool blanket, and I just love them. If you watched the Sitka shopping episode, you saw that I bought a Pendleton blanket at the Sitka Lighthouse Company, which I love, and I literally use it every day. So Niblicks carries a similar blanket by Faribault Woolen Mill, and it's made in the USA, and Faribault has been around for 150 years, and it's made in Minnesota where the winters are cold, so they must know how to make a cozy blanket. Here's another interesting textile, the hand-printed tea towels made by a company out of New Mexico called Kay and Molly. They provide jobs for immigrants and refugees. They're really pretty and colorful. They also carried some beautiful, well-made leather goods, like these leather aprons, and they also had some really beautiful bags. I love really good quality toys. I have 7 grandkids, so I've kept toys that we had when my kids were little, and these are just super cool wooden trucks and cars by a company called Candy Lab. I love toys like these. They last forever. They're considered heirloom toys. You'll keep them forever and ever. I'll add links to these below in the description for you to check out. Yeah, this store is super cute. It had so many colorful and interesting things to look at. They had really good quality items, not necessarily strictly an Alaskan made store, but a lot of American made items, and super fun to shop for souvenirs in here. Be sure to pop in and see Niblicks. Okay, this next store called Perfect Partners features Alaskan gold and Australian opals. Let's have a look.
5.4 troy ounces.
Oh my goodness, that's huge.
That's $30,240.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, that was quite something to hold. It was so heavy for its size. They had lots of interesting jewelry in here, including these amber gems. And that reminds me of my souvenir shopping in Lithuania video. You might want to check that out. That was really interesting. All right, this next store is a lot of fun. It's called Fish Creek Company. I love these native Alaskan inspired ties. They are really beautiful. And check out these fabulous puzzles. They're actually made of wood, and they're cut out of 1/4-inch thick plywood and finished beautifully. They're absolutely beautiful. I'll add links to similar ones below for you to check out. They're definitely not inexpensive. So stickers. Stickers are coming back in popularity. They had a beautiful collection in this store. Did anyone else have a sticker collection as a kid? Because I sure did. The store, located on Creek Street, was totally worth checking out. They had some very, very unique things in here, as well as some things that we've seen in other stores as well, different souvenirs, but really worth checking out. Such a nice store. Let's pop into 11 here on Creek Street. This sign just made me laugh. How many of you can relate to this? That's just too funny. Okay, so you'll find quite a bit of clothing, nice ball caps, nice t-shirts, nice sweaters, and you'll also find more stickers. I wasn't joking when I told you about those stickers the earlier times. People are collecting them. They're becoming more and more popular again. So yeah, really nice store. Let's head into Simply Salmon and have a look. So this store had all kinds of salmon and crab. They had both canned and smoked salmon. They even had some spreads that you could try out. These ones are packaged up really great for traveling. You can buy one of those, just pop it in your suitcase. It's perfect. Let's head into Soho Coho. Now, one thing I liked about this store, they had some beautiful t-shirts, like really vibrant colors and really unique prints. So they also had artwork in here. Here's some beautiful hand-dipped candles. They're 100% beeswax, some interesting wall hangings, and they had some books for kids. They also had some toys. All right, we're gonna head out of this area and take the free shuttle to the shopping center. This bus will make a stop at all 4 cruise ship docks, Creek Street, Totem Heritage City Park, and the Plaza Mall. The shuttle runs every 15 minutes and is wheelchair accessible. You can keep your eyes open for it. It'll say free on it. There are also paid buses as well that can be kind of fun to hop on and off, and it'll only cost you like $2 for a day pass, so super cheap. At the mall, you'll find a Safeway, and this is where you'll find the Starbucks if you're a collector of mugs. This is a great place to pop in and grab one of those Starbucks mugs. So there's also a McDonald's in this mall if you need a little break from the fabulous food on board your ship. You can also find a Taco Time and a Wells Fargo. And there's also a GCI. I've never heard of that store, but I guess it's like a cell phone store. So if you need a charger or you forgot something, this might be a place to pop into. And if you wonder what the locals do for fun when all the cruise ships are gone, you can check out the bulletin board. I found this kind of funny pet and doll parade. And of course, you can learn to do the tango. So honestly, the best store in this mall was Silly Munchkins. If you're traveling with kids, this is a great store to check out. They had some really beautiful and unique stuff like different books and games. They had water bottles, like beautiful water bottles. And kind of fun. This is a book on weird signs, I guess, but they had these socks. Oh my gosh, I love the Orange Crush socks and the Swedish Fish slippers. Oh my word, how cute is that? Surprisingly, this store had some really beautiful musical instruments and really well-made ones as well that you might want to check out. All right, we're going to take that shuttle bus back to the cruise ship. Make sure to look for the one that says free if you're wanting the one that stops at all the cruise ships. Once you get back to the ships, there's so much to see. I have to say we were truly blessed with the weather. Ketchikan is the 4th wettest place on Earth. It rains 300 days a year and gets over 200 inches of rain. So come prepared. Check the weather before you arrive. Bring rainproof jackets and umbrellas, and hopefully you won't have to use them. Here comes the Hovercraft Eco Adventure and Wildlife Viewing excursion that you might want to book. It's an hour and 15-minute ride where you'll hover about 20 inches above the water. That's crazy. And you'll see the Tongass National Rainforest, the Inside Passage waters, and hopefully lots of wildlife. Well, that was our last port of call on our 10-day trip to Alaska. We've had an amazing time. Be sure to check out the other videos from this trip. We went to Juneau, Skagway, Sitka, and Icy Strait Point. Each port of call was so unique, and that was the most surprising thing about Alaska for me. Be sure to check out the links I've added below to some of the things in the stores that we saw and the places we visited in this video. I'll also add links to our favorite anti-theft or anti-pickpocket day packs and crossbody bags that we use for all our trips when we travel. Keith and I just got back from a trip to northern France where we visited Vimy Ridge, the D-Day beaches, and so much more. Be sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on seeing those videos when I post them. Thank you so much for watching. Tinagirl travels today, and I'll see you again soon.